Question 1. Which of the following is a key difference between occurrence and claims-made forms in commercial general liability (CGL) insurance? A. An occurrence form covers claims made after the policy expires if the incident happened during the policy period. B. A claims-made form covers incidents that occur after the policy expires, but only if the claim is made during the policy period. C. An occurrence form provides coverage for incidents that occurred during the policy period, regardless of when the claim is made. D. A claims-made form provides coverage for incidents that occurred during the policy period, regardless of when the claim is made. Answer. C. Explanation. In CGL insurance, the difference between occurrence and claims-made forms is fundamental to coverage. The occurrence form provides coverage for incidents that happen during the policy period, regardless of when the claim is filed. This means that even if a claim is filed after the policy expires, it will still be covered if the incident occurred during the period of coverage. On the other hand, the claims-made form only covers claims that are both made and reported within the policy period. It does not matter when the incident occurred, as long as the claim is made during the active policy period. This distinction is crucial in ensuring the proper form is selected based on the risk exposure and the nature of the business operations. Question 2. Mr. Williams owns a small landscaping business in Texas and has a business owner's policy (BOP). His business faces a sudden loss of income due to a flood. The flood damages his primary equipment and disrupts his operations. Which of the following coverages will Mr. Williams likely utilize to recover lost income during this period? A. Property coverage under the BOP. B. Business interruption coverage under the BOP. C. General liability coverage under the BOP. D. Workers' compensation coverage under the BOP. Answer. B. Explanation. Business interruption coverage under BOP is designed to cover the loss of income a business suffers due to a covered event, such as a flood. This coverage typically helps recover lost profits, fixed costs, and other expenses while the business is unable to operate due to the covered event. In this scenario, the flood would be a covered event, assuming it is not specifically excluded in the policy, and Mr. Williams' loss of income due to the event would be covered under the business interruption provision, while property coverage would cover the physical damage to Mr. Williams' equipment. It would not cover the lost income. Similarly, general liability coverage and workers' compensation do not cover lost income due to business disruption. Question 3. Which of the following is an example of a floater policy under commercial inland marine insurance? A. Coverage for an employee's dishonesty when working off-site. B. Insurance for equipment that moves between different job sites. C. Coverage for a business vehicle used for transporting goods. D. Liability protection for contractors working on a project. Answer. B. Explanation. A floater policy under commercial inland marine insurance provides coverage for movable properties such as equipment or goods that may be transported or used at different locations. This type of insurance is designed to float with the property wherever it goes, offering flexibility for businesses like construction, transportation, or those with mobile assets. In the case of Mr. Thompson's construction business, for example, a floater policy would cover tools and equipment that are regularly moved between different work sites. This is the most suitable option to cover movable property like machinery or goods in transit. The other options, A, C, and D, relate to different types of coverage, not specifically inland marine insurance. Question 4. Which of the following best describes the purpose of employee dishonesty coverage under commercial crime insurance? A. It provides coverage for theft or embezzlement by external criminals. B. It covers the loss of inventory or cash due to employee actions, whether intentional or unintentional. C. It protects the employer against employee theft of money or property during employment. D. It covers legal expenses related to suing employees for breach of fiduciary duties. Answer. C. Explanation. Employee dishonesty coverage under commercial crime insurance is designed to protect a business from financial loss caused by dishonest actions of its own employees, such as theft, embezzlement, or fraud. This coverage applies to situations where an employee steals money, property, or assets from the business during their employment. The other options are incorrect because option is related to coverage for external theft, which is not covered under employee dishonesty. Option B might describe coverage for theft, but it isn't specific to employee actions, and the loss must be intentional to be covered under this form of insurance. Option D describes legal action, which is outside the scope of crime insurance. Question 5. Which of the following is typically excluded from a commercial property insurance policy's coverage? A. Damage caused by a fire to a covered building. B. Loss of income due to fire damage under business interruption coverage. C. Losses due to a power surge that damages electronic equipment. D. Theft of equipment from a secured location. Answer C. Explanation. While a commercial property insurance policy generally provides coverage for damages caused by natural disasters, fire, or theft, losses due to a power surge that damages electronic equipment are often excluded unless specifically endorsed or added to the policy. These types of losses are typically considered more of a mechanical failure rather than a direct physical cause of loss like fire or theft. Options A, B, and D are generally covered under standard commercial property insurance policies, assuming the losses meet the policy's requirements. E.g., theft from a secured location might still be subject to specific exclusions, but typically theft is covered. Question 6. Which of the following best describes the concept of replacement cost in commercial property insurance? A. The amount required to repair or replace damaged property with a similar kind, regardless of depreciation. B. The amount required to repair or replace damaged property considering depreciation. C. The total amount that would be required to settle a claim for damaged property after deducting policy deductibles. D. The value of the property based on its market resale value at the time of loss. Answer A. Explanation. Replacement cost refers to the amount needed to repair or replace damaged property with similar materials and quality without factoring in depreciation. This means that the insured will be reimbursed for the full cost of replacing the damaged property even if it has depreciated in value over time. It ensures that the policyholder can replace the damaged property to the same standard as it was before the loss. Option B refers to actual cash value received, which does factor in depreciation. Option C relates to claim settlement but is not specific to replacement cost. Option D refers to market value, which is not the same as replacement cost. Question 7. Which of the following scenarios would likely require special coverage form under commercial property insurance? A. A business wants to insure coverage for damage to property during a temporary absence, such as vacation. B. A business operates in a flood-prone area and wants specific protection against flood-related losses. C. A business needs insurance for seasonal stock that increases in value during holidays. D. A business wants to add coverage for vandalism to their property in a high-crime area. Answer B. Explanation. Special coverage forms, such as a flood or earthquake endorsement, are designed to address specific types of risks that are not covered under the standard commercial property policies. In this case, if a business operates in a flood-prone area, a flood coverage endorsement would be required since flooding is often excluded from general property coverage. Options A, C, and D could potentially be addressed through standard property coverage or general endorsements, but special coverage forms typically deal with larger, more specific risks, such as flooding or earthquakes. Question 8. Which of the following is a primary consideration when underwriters determine the premium for a commercial auto insurance policy? A. The type of business and the number of employees working with the vehicles. B. The value of the vehicles and their geographical location. C. The number of claims filed by the business in previous years. D. The historical weather data for the areas where the vehicles are driven. Answer B. Explanation. Underwriters for commercial auto insurance primarily consider the value of the vehicles being insured and their geographical location. These factors help determine the level of risk associated with the vehicles and influence the premium amount. For example, vehicles located in areas with high theft rates or frequent accidents might result in higher premiums. Options and C could be relevant to the underwriting process, but the primary factors are the vehicle value and location. Option D might be a consideration in some cases, but does not typically have the same weight as the vehicle's value and location. Question 9. In the context of commercial auto insurance, which of the following would be covered under physical damage coverage? A. An accident where the business vehicle is struck by an uninsured motorist. B. Damage to the business vehicle caused by fire. C. Liability for injuries caused to other drivers in an accident. D. Costs incurred from a stolen vehicle while on the job. Answer B. Explanation. Physical damage coverage in a commercial auto insurance policy typically covers damages to the business-owned vehicle caused by incidents like fire, collision, or theft. If a business vehicle is damaged by fire, this would be covered under physical damage coverage. Option A refers to uninsured motorist coverage, not physical damage coverage. Option C refers to liability coverage, which is separate from physical damage coverage. Option D refers to theft, which would be covered under comprehensive coverage, but it's part of physical damage coverage. Question 10. Which of the following would likely be covered under a commercial umbrella insurance policy? A. Losses that exceed the limits of a general liability policy. B. Coverage for damages to business property caused by fire. C. Workers' compensation claims for employees injured on the job. D. Property damage caused by a subcontractor working for the business. Answer A. Explanation. Commercial umbrella insurance is designed to provide additional coverage beyond the limits of primary policies such as general liability, commercial, auto, and other basic business policies. It typically kicks in when the liability coverage of those underlying policies has been exhausted, covering additional costs up to the umbrella policy's limit. Option B refers to property coverage, which is separate from umbrella coverage. Option C refers to workers' compensation, which is covered under a separate insurance policy. Option D is typically covered under the business's general liability policy, not an umbrella policy. Question 11. Which of the following is a primary difference between a commercial umbrella and excess liability policies? A. Excess liability policies cover only property-related claims, while commercial umbrella covers all liability claims. B. Excess liability provides broader coverage than a commercial umbrella policy, which only applies to specific incidents. C. Commercial umbrella policies can provide broader coverage, including areas that are not covered by underlying policies, while excess liability policies simply extend limits. D. There is no difference between a commercial umbrella and an excess liability policy. They are interchangeable. Answer C. Explanation. A commercial umbrella policy provides broader coverage than excess liability insurance. While both types of policies extend the limits of primary liability policies, umbrella policies can also provide additional coverage for claims that the underlying policies do not cover at all, such as certain types of lawsuits or legal fees. This makes umbrella policies more versatile than excess liability policies, which typically only increase the limits of existing coverage without adding any new protections. Option is incorrect because both umbrella and excess liability policies typically cover liability claims, not just property. Option B is incorrect because umbrella policies do not necessarily cover more than excess liability policies, but they do provide broader coverage. Option D is incorrect because umbrella and excess liability policies are not the same and have different scopes. Question 12. Which of the following is generally excluded from a standard commercial general liability (CGL) policy? A. Bodily injury caused by a slip and fall accident on the business premises. B. Damage to property the business owns, rents, or occupies. C. Personal and advertising injury such as libel or slander. D. Products and completed operations liability for damages caused by a product after it has been sold. Answer B. Explanation. A standard commercial general liability (CGL) policy typically does not cover damage to property that the business owns, rents, or occupies. This exclusion is why businesses often purchase separate property insurance or endorsements to cover these types of losses. Option A is covered by the CGL as it pertains to bodily injury on the business premises. Option C is included in the CGL and covers personal injury, including libel and slander. Option D is covered by the CGL for damages resulting from products sold or completed operations. Question 13. Which of the following is most likely to trigger a claims-made commercial general liability policy? A. A lawsuit filed for an incident that occurred several years ago but was reported during the policy period. B. A bodily injury claim resulting from an incident that occurred after the policy expired. C. A property damage claim filed during the policy period but related to an incident that occurred after the policy expired. D. A claim for a service-related error that occurred during the policy's first year but was reported after the policy period. Answer A. Explanation. A claims-made policy covers claims that are made during the policy period, regardless of when the incident occurred, as long as the incident is reported during the policy period. Option A describes a situation where a claim is made during the policy period for an incident that happened earlier, which is covered under a claims-made policy. Options B, C, and D involve claims that either arise after the policy has expired or were not reported within the required period, making them ineligible for coverage under a claims-made policy. Question 14. Which of the following is a key feature of a commercial package policy (PP)? It includes all coverages for property liability and workers' compensation in one policy. B. It is a policy that provides standard limits for all types of business coverage. C. It allows businesses to combine multiple coverages under one policy, but they can select the specific types of coverage they need. D. It is limited to businesses in high-risk industries only. Answer C. Explanation. A commercial package CPP allows businesses to combine various types of insurance coverages into one policy, such as property insurance, general liability, and business interruption coverage. The policy is customizable, allowing businesses to select the coverages that meet their specific needs. Option is incorrect because workers' compensation is generally not included in a CPP. Option B is incorrect because CPPs are customizable. Option D is incorrect because a CPP is available to a wide range of businesses, not just high-risk industries. Question 15. Under Business Owners Policy, BOP, which of the following would typically be covered? A. Commercial vehicle liability insurance for a fleet of company cars. B. Damages to a business's building caused by a tornado. C. Professional liability for errors and omissions in service delivery. D. Coverage for employee theft of company property. Answer B. Explanation. A business owner's policy BOP typically covers property damage, such as damage to the building from a tornado, as well as certain liability coverages. It is designed for small to medium-sized businesses and often includes coverage for the business's physical assets and operations. Option A would generally require a separate commercial auto insurance policy. Option C would require professional liability or errors and omissions policy. Option D would require employee dishonesty coverage. Question 16. Which of the following best describes the purpose of a fidelity bond for a business? A. It insures against property damage caused by a business's employees. B. It provides coverage against business interruption caused by employee actions. C. It protects the business from losses due to employee theft, fraud, or dishonesty. D. It covers damages caused by a business's advertising or marketing. Answer C. Explanation. A fidelity bond is a type of insurance that protects a business from losses caused by the fraudulent or dishonest acts of its employees, such as theft or embezzlement. It is designed to provide financial protection to employers if an employee engages in criminal behavior that results in financial loss for the business. Option A describes property insurance, not a fidelity bond. Option B refers to business interruption insurance, not related to employee actions. Option D refers to advertising injury, which is covered under certain liability policies. Question 17. Which of the following is NOT typically covered under workers' compensation insurance? A. Medical treatment costs for an employee injured on the job. B. Wages lost by an employee due to a job-related injury. C. Legal fees resulting from an employee suing the employer for negligence. D. Rehabilitation costs for an employee recovering from an injury sustained at work. Answer C. Explanation. Workers' compensation insurance typically covers medical expenses, lost wages, and rehabilitation costs for employees who are injured on the job. However, it does not cover legal fees if an employee sues the employer for negligence, as workers' compensation generally limits employees' ability to sue their employer in exchange for receiving benefits without fault. Option A, B, and D are all covered under workers' compensation. Question 18. Which of the following would most likely be covered under a cyber liability insurance policy? A. Property damage caused by a data breach. B. Liability for damages caused by a cyber attack on a business's network. C. Medical expenses for employees injured in a data center accident. D. Losses resulting from a fire in the company's IT infrastructure. Answer B. Explanation. Cyber liability insurance covers a business against risks related to cyber attacks, including data breaches, hacking incidents, and other network-related threats. This policy helps businesses manage the financial consequences of such cyber events, including legal costs and damages caused to third parties. Option A is incorrect because property damage caused by a cyber event would not typically be covered under cyber liability insurance. Option C refers to workers' compensation, not cyber insurance. Option D is covered by standard property insurance, not cyber liability insurance. Question 19. Which of the following would most likely be covered under business interruption insurance? A. Losses due to a fire at a supplier's location that disrupts your business. B. Legal expenses from a lawsuit filed by a customer. C. Employee theft of office equipment during working hours. D. Property damage caused by vandalism during non-business hours. Answer A. Explanation. Business interruption insurance covers the loss of income and operating expenses due to a disruption of business operations caused by events such as fire, natural disasters, or other unforeseen incidents. In this case, a fire at a supplier's location that interrupts your business operations would be covered. Option B is covered by general liability insurance. Option C is covered by employee dishonesty coverage. Option D is covered under property insurance. Question 20. What is the primary purpose of umbrella insurance a business context? A. To provide additional liability coverage when the limits of an underlying policy are exhausted. B. To cover all types of business property and assets in one comprehensive policy. C. To insure against cyber attacks and data breaches. D. To provide comprehensive health insurance for business owners and employees. Answer A. Explanation. Umbrella insurance is designed to provide additional liability coverage above and beyond the limits of underlying policies such as general liability or auto liability. It kicks in when the limits of the primary policy are exhausted, covering additional legal and settlement costs. Option B describes a business package policy. Option C refers to cyber liability insurance. Option D refers to health insurance, not umbrella coverage. Question 21. Which of the following best describes the purpose of an errors and omissions policy for a business? A. To cover damage to business property due to employee negligence. B. To protect against financial losses from client lawsuits due to professional mistakes or negligence. C. To provide coverage for legal fees in defending a product liability case. D. To cover medical expenses for employees injured while providing professional services. Answer B. Explanation. An errors and omissions policy provides protection to businesses against claims of negligence, errors, or omissions in the performance of professional services. This type of policy is often used by professionals such as consultants, attorneys, and accountants. Option A refers to a type of property or liability insurance, not Option C refers to product liability insurance. Option D pertains to workers' compensation, not Question 22. Which of the following is most likely covered by a commercial auto insurance policy? A. Medical expenses for injuries sustained by employees while driving company vehicles. B. Loss of income for the business due to a vehicle accident. C. Bodily injury liability caused by an employee's negligence while driving a company vehicle. D. Property damage to the business building caused by a vehicle collision. Answer C. Explanation. Commercial auto insurance provides liability coverage for injuries and property damage caused by accidents involving a business-owned vehicle. This includes bodily injury liability for third parties and property damage resulting from the accident. Option A is typically covered under workers' compensation. Option B is covered by business interruption insurance. Option D would be covered by a commercial property insurance policy. Question 23. Which of the following is a key feature of a business owner's policy? A. It offers only basic property coverage for small businesses. B. It includes comprehensive business interruption and liability coverages. C. It is designed exclusively for large corporations with complex needs. D. It provides no coverage for property owned by the business. Answer B. Explanation. A business owner's policy is a package policy designed for small and medium-sized businesses offering coverage for property liability and business interruption. It is a convenient option for businesses seeking comprehensive, customizable coverage. Option A is incorrect because BOPS are more comprehensive than basic property coverage. Option C is incorrect because BOPS are primarily for small and medium-sized businesses. Option D is incorrect as BOPS do provide coverage for business property. Question 24. Which of the following is typically excluded from a standard general liability insurance policy? A. Damage caused by faulty products. B. Injury caused by a slip and fall accident on the business premises. C. Harm caused by professional mistakes or negligence. D. Bodily injury caused by an employee's actions at work. Answer C. Explanation. A standard general liability policy typically excludes coverage for professional errors or mistakes, which are better covered by an errors and omissions policy. General liability focuses on bodily injury, property damage, and personal injury claims. Option A is covered under the CGL policy's product liability section. Option B is covered under the CGL policy's premises liability section. Option D is typically covered under workers' compensation insurance. Question 25. which of the following is a primary purpose of a business interruption insurance? A. To cover the cost of repairing or replacing damaged business property. B. To cover lost income and ongoing expenses if a business is temporarily shut down due to a covered event. C. To provide liability coverage for accidents that occur on the business premises. D. To provide coverage for employee injuries sustained while working. Answer: B. Explanation: business interruption insurance is designed to cover lost income and ongoing expenses if a business is temporarily unable to operate due to a covered event, such as a fire or natural disaster. Option A is covered by property insurance. Option C is covered by general liability insurance. Option D is covered under workers' compensation insurance. Question 26. Which of the following is NOT typically covered by a standard commercial property insurance policy? A. Damage to the business's building caused by fire. B. Theft of business equipment by an employee. C. Damage to inventory due to a storm. D. Loss of business income due to a disaster. Answer: B. Explanation: standard commercial property insurance generally covers damage to business properties such as buildings, equipment, and inventory due to various perils, including fire and storms. However, employee theft is typically excluded and would require a separate employee dishonesty or fidelity bond policy. Option A, C, and D are all typically covered by commercial property insurance or related coverages. Question 27. Which of the following types of insurance would a business owner most likely need to cover the cost of legal defense and damages related to a libel lawsuit? A. Professional liability insurance. B. Directors and officers insurance. C. Commercial general liability insurance. D. Cyber liability insurance. Answer: C. Explanation: commercial general liability (CGL) insurance covers various liability risks, including personal injury and advertising injury, which encompasses libel, slander, and defamation claims. This type of insurance would cover the legal defense costs and damages in a libel lawsuit. Option A, B, and D are not specifically designed for coverage of advertising or personal injury claims like libel. Question 20. Which of the following would most likely be excluded from a standard commercial general liability (EGL)? A. Bodily injury to a customer caused by a fall in the business premises. B. Damage to a neighboring property caused by the business's operations. C. Injuries caused by the business's use of hazardous materials. D. Accidental death of an employee on the job. Answer: D. Explanation: a standard commercial general liability (CGL) policy excludes coverage for employee injuries, which are typically covered by workers' compensation insurance. CGL focuses on third-party liabilities, not employee-related incidents. Option A, B, and C are generally covered under CGL, though hazardous materials may require additional coverage. Question 29. Which of the following best describes a flood insurance policy? A. It covers water damage caused by a broken pipe or plumbing issue. B. It provides coverage for damage due to overflow of water from a water body like a river or lake. C. It covers damage caused by heavy rain that results in a leak in the roof. D. It covers damage caused by snowmelt or ice dams. Answer: B. Explanation: flood insurance is designed to cover damage caused by flooding, specifically the overflow of water from bodies of water such as rivers, lakes, and oceans. It does not cover water damage caused by internal issues like plumbing or roof leaks. Option A, C, and D are typically covered by homeowners or property insurance, not flood insurance. Question 30. Which of the following statements about a workers' compensation policy is correct? A. It covers medical expenses and lost wages for employees injured on the job. B. It provides legal defense if an employee sues the business for negligence. C. It covers damage to the employee's personal property while at work. D. It compensates employees for non-work related injuries or illnesses. Answer A. Explanation: workers' compensation insurance is designed to cover medical expenses, rehabilitation, and lost wages for employees who are injured or become ill as a result of their work activities. It generally does not cover legal defense in negligence lawsuits or damage to personal property. Option B would be covered by liability insurance. Option C is not typically covered by workers' compensation. Option D refers to non-work related incidents which are not covered by workers' compensation.